Under new business, item number 3, Mr. Reardon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that Resolution 2009-081, adoption of the FY 2010 classification and compensation plan and authorizing a salary increase for city employees be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Ms. Hilton.
Okay. As stated, the resolution before you this evening includes 2 items. One of the items is the 2% salary adjustment for all full-time and part-time employees of the city. The cost for the 2% is approximately $430,000. This amount has been included in the proposed fiscal year 2010 budget. The total budget for personnel this year is approximately $29 million. That reflects both salaries and the associated burden. One thing I want to mention is the $29 million does reflect unfunded positions of approximately $1 million this year. And also we were very fortunate in that this year we are not recommending any increase to the premiums for our health insurance plan for both the city and our employees, so that saved the city some funding. And we were also very fortunate both the public safety retirement system and the Arizona State retirement system actually reduced their contributions, and so that saved us approximately $72,000. So all of those things are reflected in the personnel budget. The second portion of the resolution is actually the adoption of the 2010 classification and compensation plan. And the changes that are reflected in the plan this year is a 1% market adjustment, and this recommendation was based on the annual salary survey that we do of benchmark positions. The goal is to consistently make some progress in that area to remain competitive. The other thing is it does include 4 title changes. That's just to be more reflective of the job duties of the positions. 1 position reclassification, 1 new classification. Many of those were changes in our IT division. Both of these items require approval by the City Council in accordance with city ordinance. Are there any questions?
Okay, thank you. Questions? Thoughts? All in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you.
Very thorough.
Item number 4, please, Ms. Husking.
Mr. Mayor, I move that Resolution 2009-082, approval of the Waterwise and United Way contributions for fiscal year 2009-2010 be approved.
Second.
Moved and
Mr.
seconded. Mr. Felix?
Mr. Mayor, excuse me, I have to recuse myself from this.
And I
United
wish
Way.
to do the same.
All right. We have
Ourselves
2
from the vote.
recusals.
Mayor, members of council, we have, a couple years ago in discussions, we have determined that for the sake of any potential conflict of interest, we have voted on the Waterwise and the United Way contribution in the budget separately because both Ms. Husking and Mr. Reardon could have a potential conflict of interest since they're very involved in this organization. By voting on these separately with both of them reclused, they are then able to vote on the complete budget because they are not actually voting on these 2 programs. The remainder of you are. That explains, and we have to answer any other questions you may have on that.
Okay, any thoughts? All in favor? It's unanimous with 5 and 2 recusals. Item number 5, Mr. Reardon, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that Resolution 2009-083, approval of the preliminary budget for FY 2009-2010 be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. I see that Mr. Felix is giving his position over to Mark. Go ahead, sir.
Yes. Mayor, members of council, this resolution adopts the tentative budget for the fiscal year 2010. The total amount is $99,728,492. This is the cap for FY 2010. This amount can be reduced depending on the state situation and also if we have better information for revenue projections. But we cannot increase this on the final budget adoption, which will take place on June 25th. The state budget forms will be published in the Herald for 2 consecutive weeks, 1 day each week. And I'll answer any questions if you have them.
Perhaps people in the public might recognize that we've gone from 88 to 99. You want to mention that one item that caused the jump?
The big jump was a $9.9 million potential grant for a solar farm at the EOP. We also included an energy efficiency grant that we might receive, which is $182,000. And then we have some carryover items that we won't be able to receive by June 30th, so we need a budget for them next year.
So close to 10% of the budget is grants.
Correct.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Mr. Patuchik.
Thank you, Mayor Strange, members of the council. I just want to say that a lot of communities around the state are dealing with very difficult budget issues, and I just want to extend my appreciation to the council who has worked with us through many work sessions through the year. This isn't just something that occurred over the last couple months. We've been working on this for the entire fiscal year. And I believe that effort, combined with your strategic planning process, as well as all the effort of the department heads, and finance staff here, contributed to make this process much smoother than it might have been otherwise. And we're not out of the woods yet, I hate to say, because the legislature is still in session, and there are a number of proposals which could impact us, and staff is preparing for that in the event that that happens. But nonetheless, it was a very good budget process, and we'll have to continue to do the same type of work next year, I'm afraid. So we'll continue on with it. Thank you, Mayor Stern.
I appreciate the comments, and I appreciate the lack of contention that led to the balancing of a budget in a tough year. So thank you. All in favor? It's approved. Item number 6, Mr. Mueller.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move the resolution 2009-084, naming the new band shell in Veterans Memorial Park, the Centennial Pavilion, be approved.
Second.
Mr. Start.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, Mayor Strain asked Mayor Pro Tem Rick Mueller to serve as the city's representative to the county's committee for the Centennial program. As a result of his involvement, the Mayor Pro Tem initiated the idea of naming the new Sierra Vista band shell in honor of the state's 100th birthday. The construction of the new band shell is scheduled to begin in November of this year. The Mayor Pro Tem visited with the Arts and Humanities Commission to solicit their support, as they have been heavily involved in the development of the new facility. The commission unanimously recommended the naming. As described by the city's council resolution 2004-093, the matter would be sent to the Park and Recreation Commission for their recommendation. The Park and Recreation Commission unanimously recommended the naming of the new band shell, the Centennial Pavilion.
And perhaps you could just give us a thumbnail of what the Centennial Pavilion is relative to not being the band shell.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Mayor, the new pavilion is literally an outdoor performing arts center. It has a full set of dressing rooms, area for storage, and a wonderful stage of about 2,000 square feet that will allow us to host the Sierra Vista Symphony, the 36th Army Band, or acts of that size and sophistication.
Truly a step forward for Sierra Vista.
Absolutely.
And Mr. Mueller, perhaps you'd update us on the Governor's Centennial Commission.
Well, I attended the county meeting yesterday, and basically the discussion included some comments on the Centennial Commission. They are with the departure of a governor and arrival of another governor, and the fact that they have no money at the state. They are in a high state of flux. They still have a legacy program to name projects, and I hope to nominate our pavilion to become a legacy project, just like the legacy project that we already have, and probably the first one completed in the state, which is the historical soldier relocation project out at the state cemetery. So that's about all I can give you right now, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Any other comments or thoughts from council? All in favor of the resolution? It's unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Start.